Hey guys, so this is the recap for Big Brother 18, Episode 7. Now, I have to say, even though originally I wasn't really feeling Paul, I can respect the fact that the reason why he made certain moves was because he was aligned with certain people. I can respect loyalty. That's what I'm trying to say. But we get into this episode, and Victor, as we know, he won BB Roadkill, so he decided to go and put up Vanessa. Vanessa's sister, Tiffany. Now, the interesting thing about that is that Tiffany is a basket case. She is a grade A basket case. She is the type to where it's like she's in the 8-pack. She knows that she's safe, but she's acting like she's not. Victor's going around the house thinking that, you know, he's perfectly fine, he's perfectly safe, he's perfectly secure. And that's the crazy part. Again, he has this whole Jozea complex of, he pretty much thinks everyone else except for him is going up. While Tiffany is having a conniption. Tiffany is convinced that she's going home. She's completely convinced that they're trying to backdoor her. Everyone's trying to console her and say, no, everything's good, everything's fine. Devon is like, look, I was really trying to ignore the fact that you're Vanessa's sister. And this is her in the confessionals. But at the end of the day, why is it that you're acting just like her except for worse? At least Vanessa was rational some of the time. You are irrational most of the time. So Devon has a little, you know, the gears are winding in her head thinking this chick might need to be the next person out. Possibly before Victor. Bronte actually thinks that she is a target. She doesn't feel safe. And at this point, she's saying that she only trusts Natalie. I find that interesting because she's supposed to be in the 3-person alliance, including Bridget. But Bridget is all canoodling with anyone and everyone. Bridget is really someone that needs to be watched. In a double eviction, they need to throw her out. I have to say it like that because Bridget is someone who she will coast through this game if you don't go and take her out sooner rather than later. And we have, what is his name? We have Frank, who's going talking to Paulie, and he's trying to go and hammer into Paulie's head that, you know, Tiffany is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Tiffany is someone that we have to watch. She really is. We might have to possibly put her out. Now remember, Paulie is one of the few people that isn't in, he's not aligned with any particular person. So this is a situation of the 8-pack kind of use him, but he's also kind of using the 8-pack. He could eventually replace Tiffany, so that's why they trust him so much. And Frank goes and talks with Devon, and it's just like, look, Tiffany is a liability at this point. She's really nervous. She's very concerned. She's questioning everything and questioning everyone. And by doing so, she's causing this, she's causing everyone to be a little bit paranoid because she's so paranoid. You know who should be paranoid? Victor. Victor isn't paranoid at all. Victor is fully confident in the fact that he's good. And the problem with that is that, Victor went and kind of ran his mouth a little bit because Victor talked, of course, because Paul tried to go and warn Victor that, you know, you're not safe without saying you're not safe. And Victor pretty much went and told that, because remember, he talked to Frank and Paulie. So now it came back to Paul that, you know, what's really going on? How do you feel about it? What's good? Because we talked to you about, of course, your bud. Now, we know that your bud was talked to by you because he went and essentially said the same thing that we kind of told you. So now Paul has to go and do damage control. Paul has to go and do damage control and pretty much disassociate himself from Victor. If he doesn't do that, then Victor's going to go and drag him down. Victor's going to go and drag him down, and at this point, he already almost destroyed his game by really fully backing Jozea, and so he can't go and do that again. And that's why I'm like, you know what, Paul? I knew I saw something in you, and if you continue this type of trajectory, why not? You can go back into people's good graces. You really can. James almost feels like a floater at this point. But anyway, Paulie's just like, you know, I don't hold any personal ill will to you. And I'm actually, because remember, Paul is on the block. So Paulie's saying, you know, I think I could work with you. I think I can trust you. And at this point, again, both of them are free agents. So he's not necessarily wrong. Now it's time to pick people for the veto competition. And so, of course, the nominees are already Tiffany, Paul, and Bronte. with Paul Lee. You know who else gets picked up? Devon. And last person, now Paul has to make a decision because his name is drawn. So now he has to go and decide, is he going to go and choose his friend, Victor, and make sure that his friend is good and potentially safe as well? Or is he going to go and also piss off the rest of the house by doing so? Or is he going to do the smart thing and choose someone else? He decides to go with his teammate, Zakia. He's going to go and choose her because, you know, he figures, you know, loyalty and things of that nature. That's what he's telling Victor. And Victor soaks this all up. Victor and Paul goes and pretends like, oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't really think about it that way. I wasn't really thinking, because Victor's trying to tell him, you know, I could have kept you safe and kept myself safe if I won the veto. And of course Paul knows this, but he pretends like he has no idea what's going on. Victor is so clueless / trusting, that he completely believes Paul. And Frank goes and tells Paul essentially that, you know what, you're good, you're safe, you're not the problem. And everyone agrees that Tiffany needs to go and throw the competition. She needs to throw the competition and make sure that someone else gets control of the veto so that they could go and take one person off the block and put on Paul. Put on Victor. And the interesting thing is that this is where I'm wondering what's the point of the whole AIPAC alliance, because it almost feels like they're slowly trying to feel out Paul, and because Paul really almost has no one at this point, they're almost open to working with him like they're working with Paul Lee. So I'm thinking, okay, the AIPAC alliance is pretty much done, because this is the joke. And the competition, it is gross. It has to deal with feet. It has to deal with fungus. It has to deal with athlete's foot. And it's out, of course, in the backyard. And it's a spelling competition. You know, the competition where people have to race to go and get the letters in order to go and spell whatever. The biggest and baddest word they could possibly spell. The winner, of course, gets the veto, the power veto. And Corey is the one who, we'll call him the moderator for this competition. I'm like, damn, that was the right person to choose. They have Corey and, of course, his country getup. You know, the long johns, the overalls, all that, the whole shebang, the cowboy hat. And so, Corey with his over-enunciating self. Oh, Corey. And so the whole thing is, look, Devon is not happy with Tiffany, so she doesn't want Tiffany to win, because it was already agreed upon that Tiffany would make sure that she would lose. You know what ends up happening? Tiffany goes and makes sure that she gets an extra letter so that she beats Devon, because I forgot what word Devon had, but Tiffany had a word that was bigger, and Bronte had the word powerful. Of course, that wasn't big enough because Tiffany had a 10-letter word. Devon had a 9-letter word. The funny thing was when that, I guess it was supposed to be like toe jam or toe fungus, sprayed Devon. Because they're like, it smelled like mud and ugh. It was just like these toe statues everywhere, and they had these gunk in it. It was nasty. Zakia, I forgot what she spelled, but of course it wasn't long enough. We had Paul, I forgot what he spelled, it wasn't long enough. You know who won? Paul Lee. Paul Lee, he spelled, what was it? Successful? No, it wasn't successful. Sustainability. Yes. Paul Lee spelled sustainability and he won. But remember, Devon was irritated because she's wondering, why in the hell did Tiffany go and try to make sure that she won against me? Not anyone else, but me. Me. How about that? And of course, Paulie's celebrating the fact that he won, and he's 2 Chainz for this week. 2 Chainz! You know, he has the, he is head of household, and he has the power of veto. Devon is going and telling everyone how, you know, Tiffany might have to go because of the fact that she made sure that she beat me in that competition, which is dumb because we're supposed to be allies. We're supposed to be on the same side, so why would she go and purposely try to beat me? Look, Devon, Davon, you are right. Tiffany can be depressed because she's like, pretty much her fate is in everyone else's hand and she's over it. Again, where's Bridget? We haven't seen Bridget. Must be boring. Bridget must be kind of like a Corey where they don't have much going on in the house right now. So they're not being showcased. Oh yeah. Damn, I always keep forgetting to say this. Please like, comment, subscribe. Yeah. And Paulie decides, you know what? I'm going to make a big move. And I appreciate that about Paulie. Paulie's been playing his own game. He's been partially aiding the 8-pack, but he's overall been playing his own game. And Paulie's decided he's going to go and take down Paul. And he's going to go and take the brunt of it and just say why he wanted to go and do it. He's not going to go and place it on anyone. And again, I can really respect the game that Paulie's playing. Now, there was a funny and of course he told this to Paul, and there was a really funny moment when Victor came upstairs and everyone was talking about him, you know, and I think Frank was even like, back door, and that's when the door opened up and Victor came through, and everyone was just like, yeah, so how's the drink? And you know, Victor is in his own world. He has no idea what's going on. That's why I'm like, damn, these newbies suck. I'm sorry, but these newbies suck. I don't remember the last time where we had such naive newbies. I mean, really? Really? Maybe that's why they made sure to have these veterans, because if it was just these newbies, I don't know how interesting the show really would be. And of course, we appreciate James and his antics. He hid in the trash can. I'm like, damn, I wish I could fit. No, I can't. No, I don't. James hides in the trash can, and of course, in the storage room, and who else goes in there but Nicole? And so James popped up, and Nicole's like, ah! Nicole loves her some James, so it's fine. It's fine. Now everyone's talking, and when I say everyone, it's the girls, minus Tiffany, Bronte, Natalie, and Tiffany, Bronte, Natalie. Yeah, minus those girls. So the issue is that they're thinking, because remember, they're, what are they? They're not the 8-pack, they're the Fatal 5. The Fatal 5 right now is really the strongest alliance. They're the most loyal to each other as of now, and I'm really excited because I'd love to see a group of girls actually make it to the end. That is unheard of in Big Brother. Usually the girls work together for like maybe the first couple of weeks and then they go apart. And I appreciate the fact that Nicole, even though she likes Corey, she's not letting him phase her gameplay, because she already did that twice. So, well, technically once, but we're saying twice for dramatic effect. So, but again, they're saying Tiffany can't be trusted. Tiffany is too paranoid. She's going to go and destroy their game. You know, she's poisoning the 8-pack and all. So she may have to go. And Davon is leading the charge. And I'm for her, because Tiffany will go and blow up all of your spots. You know that. So it's better you're going to take her out now. And again, Paul's trying to make his last ditch effort to try and connect with his friend Victor. And try to, you know, warn him without flat out telling him, yo, you are in trouble. They're going after you. What are you thinking? What are you doing? That's essentially what he's trying to say, but he's just like, you know, so do you think you're a target? Why don't you think you couldn't possibly be a target? You know, this is Big Brother, like all of that. He is laying it on thick, and it's going over Victor's head. And I'm thinking, damn, no one promised Victor anything, so why is he assuming? He really has Jozea. Him and Jozea are the same person when it comes to that. They're so confident and arrogant that they really think that in this house their ish doesn't stink, and they know that they did certain things that were wrong. And I know, of course, if you actually follow on social media and the live streams, you know that Victor's been trying to do damage control, for example, with Natalie and a couple other people around the house, because he knows that I just have to make sure I stay nice to these people so that they definitely vote for me. Because he still thinks he has everyone's vote. He does have everyone's vote, for not for the right reason. And so everyone goes, it's now the ceremony, the veto ceremony. And of course the 3 people potential on the block go and give their speeches. You know, this is kiss butt, pretend I'm super nice type of moment. So Tiffany was just like, well, you know, I hope that you keep me because blah, 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 blah. Bronte was just like, you know, I hope that you keep me. I'm like, Bronte, that is not you. Stop it. You need to stop it. And Paul was just like, you know, I hope that we continue to work together. I hope that you use it on me so that we can actually build a friendship. And I was like, okay, Victor, you're not really, Victor, you're not even, Victor. So he goes and of course chooses Paul, and then he chooses Victor as a replacement. And his reasoning was sound. He said, you were gunning for me this whole time, so of course I'm going to be gunning for you. I can forgive you, I can like you overall, but it doesn't mean that I will forget or truly trust you. So Victor, again, he's just like, you know what? Fair enough. Completely understand. And I'm thinking, Victor, don't be overconfident. Overconfident. Why can't you see that? Your friend is trying to tell. Anyway, so Devon's whole thing is, Victor's just like, you know what? I'm going to stay in this house and I'm coming for you. I'm thinking, you really think he's going to put you on the block knowing that you tried to kick him out the first time and then you're trying to kick him out now just so that, and that it's not going to... But Devon is after Tiffany. And I'm not mad at her because Tiffany can't be trusted. She is truly the biggest liability in the house. So please like, comment, subscribe. Come back next week. And also look at my other reviews. I'm doing the review for Hollywood Divas, of course, Wayward Pines, and Greenleaf. All will be out by tomorrow morning.